everybody. It's the 27th of January today, and some of you may remember this grapevine that I'm trying to grow, and indeed some of you may remember this pot which had a rather nasty accident. Back last spring we had a big storm which actually took a couple of roof tiles off the roof, and they managed to land slap bang onto this pot, and another one which was smashed beyond repair. This one I super glued together, and it did actually hold together all through the summer, all through that really hot heat wave, I was about to say, all through the heat wave. But then this last batch of frost, well, it done for it, and so I've decided that, well, basically I tied the pot together with a piece of string until I had time to deal with it, so that the root ball didn't dry out. As you can see, the freezing got into the joints, and the water got into the joints, swelled and contracted, and as the pot defrosted it just fell apart. I don't think I'm going to bother re-gluing it. I think I'm going to abandon this pot, but I have decided I'm going to repot this now into one of the new pots I had for Christmas. In fact, into quite a large pot, so we'll see that in a minute. First thing is, let's get this out of its pot, what's left of it, and do a bit of weeding, cleaning up. Okay, it's not going to take a huge amount, I shouldn't have thought, but then again, who knows, it's only been in here less than a year, so it's not really put down a lot of root, and what root it did put has all gone to the outside of the pot. And the bottom of the pot. Okay, well, there's not really a lot I can salvage up here, so my plan was to try and fuse these pieces together, and I'm still going to go with that plan. I think I'm just going to shorten these pieces and be done with it in terms of a root prune. So out come my old trusty rusty root pruning shears, and leave that bit of weed as well. We really haven't got very much in the way of a root ball at all, if we're honest. But anyway, let's get the new pot in and we'll see what we can do with this. Okay, so this is the large chocolate brown pot I had for Christmas, and just to give you a sense of scale, I put in the drinks can next to it. It's quite plain, and I had considered putting a wisteria in this, but I understand grapevines like a deep and cool root run, and so I've decided I'm going to use this for the grapevine. I've already prepared the pot. I put in a drainage screen and some wires. I cut the wires too short, and so I'm just adding an extra piece like so, and hopefully I'll be able to tie the tree in reasonably well. My mix today is different to normal, again because I'm liking a deep hungry mix, or deep cool mix. This is roughly 1/3 soil based compost, potting compost, 1/3 cat litter and 1/3 potting grit. And basically, because I've got very little in the way of root ball, I'm going to pour a big old wodge in the bottom and then plant the tree on the top. But into this I'm going to mix my normal controlled release. You can get continuous release, and that just lets out the feed. This only releases feed into the compost when the temperature and the moisture levels are right for plant growth. So it's a bit less wasteful, but I always think. I'm going to give it a good watch, and then mix it down into the compost so that it's mixed fairly evenly through. To do that, I've got my little garden hand fork, and that way I can get it to hopefully mix in nicely. There we go. Quite happy with that. I'm actually going to put in a little bit more for luck. Grapes can be heavy feeders. Okay, and then I'm going to try. Sorry, Coops, I need to get you then. We do have some roots this side and some roots on that side, so I'm also going to push the cane down a little further. It really doesn't want to go down. That's better. Okay, and now I'm going to try and fix this in with the wires so that it won't keep falling over. Easier said than done. Let me move the camera so you have a slightly better view. Okay, so I'm keeping it kind of central as best I can. I'm aware my hand's in the way now. Okay, so that, if I can persuade this cane, that's better, to be more upright, that'll give the tree a bit more support. Okay, so the roots are spread out to this side, to that side, and a couple to the back here. We've got very little at the front, but hopefully it'll root into this mix over the next couple of years and rectify that. Okay, somehow I'm losing the plot. I've managed to fill in around the roots without recording it, it seems, but anyway, there we go. So that's got the tree in looking reasonable now. Obviously it's going to need a good drink. I'm making sure I've got good contact with all of the roots. A nice little gap at the top for watering. And now we will chop it back a little bit. So I'm going to take my main, which is my main trunk. I'm actually going to remove, I'm going to remove that piece. I think it's a bit of a distraction. And this is the piece that climbed all the way up the cane. So it was essentially the leader. It doesn't want to now let go of the cane. Okay, so that's brought all of the trunks down low. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove that piece. So my trunk line is kind of leaning at the moment, and what I want to do is I want to bring in this I want to try and bring in this piece and bring it in nice and close, like so, and maybe even sort of intertwine it, like so. Excellent. Now, somewhere I have some grafting tape which I will wrap this whole thing with, and then hopefully as these canes, is that the word? Grape canes? Vines, I guess, grow and thicken, they will fuse into one piece. But for now I'm just going to put a piece of wire like so. I'm going to shorten that piece like so. This piece can stay in. Again, you will see where it shoots from, and then I'm going to shorten that piece and that piece, and that's the emergency repot done. Quickly loop that wire around the cane to hold the cane up, and then these two pieces can be wired to the cane as well. Let me just find a piece of wire. The dog up the road having a bit of a bark, so Cooper's got to join in, of course. Why wouldn't he? Okay, so we've now got this very strange sort of lean arrangement going on, which I'm wondering I can lift it up a little bit straighter, giving me a bit of movement. And as they say, hopefully these pieces will eventually fuse together to give me a better fatter trunk and some better movement from this strange straight piece that suddenly goes off. So pop the can in again for scale, and just move the camera up a little, give you a bit of a 360 of this very strange looking vine tree. And well, that's, I no longer need to worry about it drying out, and I think the pot will be interesting. Had some really nice fresh green on the spring leaves last year, and a really gorgeous autumn colours, reds and oranges, so I think the dark brown pot will look nice against that. Give it a good drink. Doesn't seem to be quite as free draining as my normal mix, although there it goes, it's flowing through now. But as I say, grapes like a lot of water, and they like a deep cool run. So if we have a hot summer again. Hopefully this will help. There, it's absolutely running out perfectly. Brilliant. That's what I wanted. So there we go, my first repot of the season. Thank you so much for watching. I do appreciate it. Do all the usual YouTube things, the liking, the subscribing, the commenting below. Most of all, please, 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 stay safe everybody.